New York needs new energy, not the lies of the past. Who would you trust with our future? Paid industry spokespeople, or the people bringing to light the very documents that the gas industry is trying to hide? Governor Cuomo, what color will the sky be over New York?
And welcome back, everyone. We're talking about hydrofracking and its possible future in New York State and all the controversies attached to it. We just showed you part of a mini documentary, The Sky is Pink. And I want to bring Kim Lengle in right now. She's been following this story long before this. And Josh Fox, a documentarian here, you got to interview him one-on-one, and he's part of the fabric of this thing. He's not a quiet documentarian. He's made his opinions very loud.
He's inserted himself in the narrative. He was nominated for an Oscar for his first film on hydrofracking called Gasland. Since then, he's become very busy working on Gasland 2. He's honest and upfront about his feelings about hydrofracking, even though, as we found out, being outspoken comes with a price. As folks in New York's southern tier see the possibility of fracking growing closer, Fox says there's no room for compromise. He says there is no safe way to frack.
My ambition here is not to create some political middle ground negotiation, right? That's what politicians do. So the issue here is not about, is there middle ground between what's scientific and what's not, or what's actually going to be the consequences or what's not. The question you're saying, is New York State going to be a sacrifice zone so that we can start to develop a fossil fuel resource that we don't need?
Considering the fact that you are the underdog in this fight here, wouldn't a more productive argument be to force them to do it in a way that's environmentally friendly? There
is no way, though. I mean, what the gas industry is saying, from their own documents, is after decades of studying the well leakage problem, they have 6% of wells immediately fail and start having gas migrate into aquifers, and 50 to 60% fail over 30 years. Now, they've been studying this problem for a very long time, and they're the industry.
But if you have an all or nothing argument, somebody's going to lose.
Well, I think the gas industry is going to lose. This is an impossibility of engineering. That's what the science says. So what we're talking about here is not regulations. Regulations are permission, especially when the regulations actually don't match what the science is saying. The DEC has said, well, we're going to make these wells stronger. Well, but strength and durability are two different things. You can be very strong and then drop the weight after 10 seconds, right? So after a few years, your wells are going to break down. We're talking about contamination, widespread contamination, the industry admitting it itself over a single generation, moving along the areas where they drill. I mean, look, this is the 21st century, right? We're using 18th century technology. If I said to you, the gas industry's argument is, well, this is a bridge fuel to renewables. Well, renewables are ready now. We know renewables can run the world. So if I said to you, I have an iPod right here in my hand, or a digital camera, but you're going to have to use this Sony Walkman and lug all these tapes around for the next 25 years because it's the bridge technology. You'd be like, you're crazy. Well, that's what's happening right now.
The industry has attacked virtually everything about you. In fact, even saying about your movie, The Sky is Pink, it's distracting, out-of-focus camera work, and characteristically creepy, overwrought narration.
Wow. I don't read reviews.
How does that make you feel?
Yeah, well, look, when you can't attack the message, you attack the messenger. And it's kind of sucks. I mean, it's not fun to be in the middle of that. It really isn't. You have to build up a significant thicker skin to be able to try to deal with that kind of thing. But I think it's puerile. I think it's adolescent. I think it's characteristic of the type of industry that they are, which is bullying. I think sanity has to prevail here, and the science, as Governor Cuomo said, has to prevail here.
Have you met with the governor?
No.
Have you tried?
Yes.
What was their response?
We'll see. We're waiting.
You're waiting as in it's going to be in Gasland 2, or you're waiting to actually meet face-to-face with him?
I hope that is on the agenda for the future.
What will you say to him?
I think that what I must say is what I'm saying in The Sky is Pink, and a little bit more. The industry's own science says that this is a sure bet for disaster.
What do you think is driving his reluctance to meet with you?
I don't know that there is a reluctance. I wouldn't put anything on top of that. I think that this is obviously something that is an enormously pressurized political situation. And, you know, when you're talking about what is clearly true from the pages of the New York Times to the industry's own science, on the one hand, and then an enormous amount of money and negative force on the other side from the gas industry, I think it would give any politician pause.
Now, as we mentioned before, there is talk that hydrofracking could begin sometime this summer. Sources tell RFL that in New York's southern tier, for instance, tanker trucks are already rolling into town.